I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Fucking A.
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I've been meaning to do this review for a while. This is part of my 69 favorite horror films, but it got tagged for copyright, so I had to take it down, so it's not on there anymore. But it's a film that you already see right now, right there, which that was a gift from a really good guy on here, Uncle Bill from Dead Pit. You can check out www.deadpit.com. Check those guys out. They were very nice, and he was very nice enough to send me this, as well as the My Bloody Valentine you see there. Very kind. He didn't have to do that. And it was very kind of him to do. But he knew that this is one of my favorite films of all time, and that's Jacob's Ladder. I love this film to death. It's directed by Adrian Lyne. I'm not sure if you pronounce it Adrian Lynn or Adrian Lyne. For sake of argument, I'm just going to say Lyne. If it's wrong, I apologize, but I'll say Adrian Lyne. Same guy who directed, I think he directed Fatal Attraction. And basically, Tim Robbins, he had some bad experiences in the Vietnam War. He's back home. He has this new woman that he's in love with, played by Elizabeth Pena. And he starts seeing these weird-ass demons in his life. He had this weird thing going on in the subway station where he's like locked in there and he can't get out. And all of a sudden he's trying to go through the tracks and there's a subway train coming. He barely gets out and there's like all these people just staring down at him, all in shadow, just staring down at him. And he sees like these weird, really well done practical effects, like really weird demons. And you like whether it's like during a party, it almost seems like his woman's being raped by the devil itself. There's like this winged, crazy flesh. I don't even know how to describe it. You just have to see it. And when it comes, it goes. I mean, if you've seen the film, you know what I mean, what scene I mean. Uh, and he just starts going crazy. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what's real, what's not, what's going on. Was it a Vietnam experiment gone awry? Like they were fed this bullshit, that fucked with their heads? Is it something more? Is the guy just going crazy nutsoid? That's for you to figure out, and I'm sure most people probably could figure it out now. Especially, this was released in 1990, and it was written by Bruce Joel Rubin, same guy who would write Ghost, weirdly enough. But I love this film to death. I mean, I don't even know where to start with my love for this film. Um, Tim Robbins does such a great job, Jacob Sarin. Like, the only guy who can help him is his chiropractor played by Danny Aiello. And it's one of those things where it is so atmospheric and haunting and creepy and well done acting-wise. Like, Tim Robbins as Jacob Sarin, he deserved an Oscar nomination for this performance. I'm not even bullshitting because this film, this acting, you feel so bad for Jacob Singer, for Tim Robbins' character. You feel so bad for this guy, for what he's going on. Where he wakes up and he's freezing, but they say that he has a temperature and they gotta break it. And they put him in this bathtub of ice. He's like, no, you're killing me. I'm freezing to death. Then it cuts to, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Then it cuts to, like, when he used to be married to his woman and his kids. His kids. And there's also moments where he thinks about the kid that died before he went to Vietnam, played by Macaulay Culkin. But like in the scene, like the other two kids are surviving. He like talks about, oh man, that was a horrible dream. I was with this woman, the Elizabeth Pena character, and like he's happy, and then it comes back, and he's in the bathtub, and he looks at Elizabeth Pena, and you see this tear come down. You could put that so many aspects. Is he thinking about the life that he doesn't have? Like he could be in a warm bed with that wife and kids, and now he's stuck in a bathtub naked with this girl who sometimes he doesn't trust. Uh, Hell, the character's name is Jezzy, as in Jezebel. You know, and so like there's a moment like anybody home, and you have these like weird ass, creepy ass eyes, and they do that throughout. Like there's a moment where Jacob Senior is going through this. Uh, he's walking home, and he's in this very narrow part of the street. And some guy goes, look out, and he looks, and a car is trying to run him over, and he barely gets out of the way. And then you have these weird-ass figures looking at him. And you have, like, this, like, I can't even do the shaky thing. I have a headache. But it's not CGI. It's done practically, and the way it's done, the shakies, is really creepy, really fucked up. And it's all helped by the score as well. The music by Maurice Jarre. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. This film gets a 7.5 on IMDb, and to be honest, that's good, but it deserves the highest of the high for me. I mean, this film, it cost 25 million, made 26 million, and no one talks about this film. No one. Like, if I could have a chance to talk with Tim Robbins, I want to ask him about this movie. Because I think this is a beautiful, haunting movie. It's very, very well written. I think it's smart. The score is very well done. I'm basically looking at trying to find the guy who did the score and trying to see what else the guy's done. If I go to full cast and crew. But yeah, like, one thing that people may not know is the video game Silent Hill. The guys who made Silent Hill, they were influenced by this movie. In fact, if you play, I think, Silent Hill 3, there is a scene that they put in Silent Hill 3 straight out of Jacob's Ladder, the subway station, where you're in the subway and you're locked. And I may be wrong, because I haven't played Silent Hill 3 in a while, but I think they actually have some of the same signs from Jacob's Ladder. I may be wrong, but I know it's very similar to in Jacob's Ladder. I know they were influenced by Jacob's Ladder. I know that the director of House on Haunted Hill remake, when he made that film, he was influenced by Jacob's Ladder. I like the House on Haunted Hill remake, and you see it, especially, the shaking creatures and stuff. And this film is just one of those beautifully casted. I mean, now that you have Tim Robbins and Danny Aiello as the chiropractor is excellent. Like, you have this really haunting, memorable fucking scene where Jacob Senior, one thing leads to another, and he's on his back and he's hurt, and he gets put in this hospital. And this is the hospital from hell. I mean, it's somewhat dingy, dirty, but then it goes to hell, and there's body parts on the floor. There's crazy people, like chain fences all around looking at him. There's a guy bouncing his head against the wall. There's like a broken wheelchair. Uh, there's like, these doctors, and one has like no eyes. Like all here is just fucking skin. And they have like a fucking needle that just goes deep in his fucking head. And you really feel sorry for Tim Robbins, because it's like, they're like, you're dead. He's like, what? No, I'm not dead. What are you then? I'm alive. You buy it. You hear that? You hear that thunder? God is agreeing with me on this film. You buy that. See? You buy it. You really do. You buy that sequence. You buy it hook, line, and sinker. When he says, I'm alive. It's not cheesy. It's not corny. You really buy the fact that this guy is going through hell, and you feel so bad for him. Maurice Alexis Jarre. I'm not sure how to pronounce him. Unfortunately, the composer passed away in 2009, which is sad. But I think he did help do Sunshine, School Ties, Almost an Angel, Solar Crisis, Ghost, Prancer, Dead Poet Society, Gorillas in the Mist, Fatal Attraction, Solar Babies, Enemy Mine, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Dreamscape, did the score to Dreamscape, score to Firefox. Even if I'm not a big fan of movies, the scores are good. But yeah, this is a beautiful piece of music. I actually have this on CD, and I loved it to death. Um, yeah, all the special effects here were filmed live. None were post-production. So, I mean, and it works. They hold up today. They're still very creepy. Um, I'm looking through the info, the trivia. Oh yeah, other actors they have here. I was getting to. He has a hellacious thing with the hospital, and you have Danny Aiello, this great scene where he breaks his friend down. It's like, no, this is barbaric, barbaric. Like, I'll wrap this around your neck, take this crutch of fucking people up. Like, you really buy that this guy is, Jacob's Ladder's friend, and he has this awesome piece of dialogue, which I'm going to end this review on because it's the best way to end it. But other people you have small appearances by Jason Alexander as Jacob Singer's lawyer. You have Ving Rhames and Eric LaSalle as Vietnam buddies. Of course, Macaulay Culkin as his son who passed away, got hit by a car. And just the music, the atmosphere, the acting, the story. This is how you make a horror film. This is how you make a great, beautiful fucking movie that I am a fanboy on. I love this film to death. I mean, I own the musical CD for it. I own the Blu-ray of it, which I kind of have problems with the Blu-ray because the picture, maybe it's the best they could make it, but the picture isn't really that great. But at least it does have all the stuff from the DVD, the making of, the commentary, the deleted scenes. And one quick note, the deleted scenes, I wish there was a copy of this film with those deleted scenes put back in. If there was a copy, I would love to purchase it. I would love to see this film with all those deleted scenes in the film, within the film. I'm talking about the scene where this guy, Matt Craven, plays this guy who says he was a doctor. He was in Vietnam when they were doing the tests. And I really love his speech, too, where he talks about how, they did this drug on monkeys and they tore each other apart. And, we got to use it on men. We use it on your platoon. And how what happened to Jacob Sinner was it was brother killing brother. And the way it's told is really well done. There's phenomenal acting, writing, just everything I give high kudos to. But he also says I have a way to cure it. I can cure the ladder. I can fix the ladder. Because the drug was called the ladder. Because, you can go up and down and stuff. And it's almost like a really awesome exorcism scene where he's trying to get him off from this drug so he doesn't have these visions anymore. And he sees something on the fucking roof and it's like a fucking eyeball and something crawling out. It's really fucking good scene. I wish to God they did not cut it out. There's also another scene where he has a final confrontation with Elizabeth Pena. Who are you? You just see this stuff in the trailer. You watch the trailer, you see this stuff in the trailer, and I wish there was a copy of this film. Because I would, if I knew how to make it, I would. That had the film, but all the deleted scenes put in as well. Mainly those two deleted scenes. The sort of exorcism type scene and the final confrontation. I wish there was a version of that. I really do. If someone out there knows of a version, or knows how, if they can make a version of this, I would gladly pay and whatever. I know you can't really do it because it's illegal. But I'm just saying, for any higher ups out there, I hope one day You do like a version where you have everything in there. I wish and hope and pray. I really do. I think that would be fucking phenomenal. But I'm trying to think of what else about the film I don't want to be forgetting, because I know I'm all over the place with this. I really love this film to death. Not only for the creepy visuals, the atmosphere, the music, the acting, but the story really appealed to me. And this is where it gets into spoiler territory, so if you don't want to be spoiled, cut the video out now. But what I really loved is, as I watched the film and I found out at the end that, Macaulay Culkin gets Jacob Singer, his dad, brings him up to heaven. Because you find out that he actually died in Vietnam, and this whole thing was in his head. But you could really tell, at least to me, there was this sort of, are you going to still be living in this hell, or are you going to be able to move on? I could see it. I could see it all. I could see the fact that if you watch the film again, nothing about it really dates the film in a modern time, you know? Like, the people he remember are the people he knew before Vietnam. The woman that he met at at the post office, that was Elizabeth Pena. His kids. I mean, it doesn't give us. I don't think they actually give us a certain time. How long after Vietnam was this? Does this film take place? Is it 5 years? Is it a year? Is it 10 years? They don't really say. I don't remember them ever saying. And the film, people still dressed. It's still like if they were, around the 70s era. The music that you listen to, I don't hear any modern music. I mean, this film came out in 1990, and I don't hear any modern music. I hear like music from the 70s and stuff. As if it was music that he probably heard before he died, stuff he saw before he died, the clothes he saw before he died. I know I'm putting much into it, but if you pay attention, like, that's not, yeah, actually that's true. That I remember. I could be wrong, but and just so much about, like, I love how the story's about, regrets, the woman he loves, the kids that he left behind. Like, those are the people who don't mistreat him, that don't tear him apart, that don't, like, she's the one, not Elizabeth Payne, but she's the one who comes to see Jacob Singer in the hospital, and he's crying, and she's, like, really feeling sorry for him. But Elizabeth Pena is the one who, it's kind of like the lust factor, maybe someone he thought about before, but she's really, in that deleted scene, you find out that Elizabeth Pena is really kind of I don't want to say a version of him, but sort of like that version of himself torturing him in a way. I'm sure there's a better way to explain it. I mean, they explain it on the features too, the commentary and the making of and such. They explain it better on that. But I like that aspect. I like the aspect that even though your lead dies at the end, it's still a very hopeful, very satisfying, and it doesn't seem like a cheap shot. It seems like it was built to that. It made sense. It wasn't depressing. It was enlightening. Seeing his son, like, it's the father who's scared, but the son's like, no, come on, it'll be okay. And, just everything's top notch. Uh, it's a story that really appeals, at least to me, about what could happen when we die. Like, the moments during death. Like, some people say that a moment can last forever. Well, what's the moment before you die? Maybe it does last forever. So you go through this whole shebang of, are you going to keep fighting and, be in this purgatory where, you're suffering and you're going through these dark demons sort of, trying to drag you down, or you can be free. And it's sort of that journey to sort of weird journey. And you can even go into heaven and hell. That maybe is demons and the devil and God and such. I mean, that's probably not their intention, but you could put your own thought into that as well. Um, I just really love this film to death, as you can see. I wish one day that there would be a version with the delete scenes put back in, because I think they really helped the film even more. Still a great film by itself, but they helped the film even more. Uh, I remember seeing the trailer to this film. I think it was the first time I saw it was in front of a VHS of The Punisher, the 1989 Dolph Lundgren Punisher film. I had the VHS tape, and it had a trailer to Jacob's Ladder, and I was really interested in that, and I saw it, and I just loved it ever since. Saw it on VHS, then DVD, then Blu-ray. And again, I hope one day there is a version with the deleted scenes put back in. Officially or non-officially, I really don't care at this point. But I don't know what else to say. Uh, I think it's a beautiful movie, story, tone, atmosphere, creepy, wonderfully acted. Has a lot of stuff going for it. You know, the whole Vietnam thing, you could say that that's part of your psyche trying to explain why you died. Like, you know, he remembers that someone who was a friend killed him, you know, stabbed him in the gut, and he's like, why? So maybe the whole Vietnam thing, maybe it was drugs, but it's, you know, maybe it's his psyche trying to explain away. But at the end of the day, it's almost like, okay, even if you do, it's bullshit. It doesn't matter. You're still dying. See, that's the film, like, The Gray, people put the high heaven and all this. You want to talk about accepting death and dying? This film beat you to it. Sorry, Joe Carnahan. This film beat you to it, and it kicks your ass. In my opinion. If you like The Gray, that's fine. That's no problem. I don't. This film did it much better. Much more satisfying, much more deeper way. And this film is fucking forgotten. And that's fucking sad. Again, if I had a chance to talk to Tim Robbins, I would ask him about this film. Because I think it's his best performance. He deserved an Oscar, at least a nomination, probably the whole damn Oscar. This film deserves something for Oscars. Writing-wise, the script, it's a really great script. The music is awesome. But no Oscar, no Oscar nominations is fucking bullshit. It didn't even do well at the box office. It's, yeah, shitty-ass films like the Prom Night remake, making what, how much fucking money, but good movies like this don't. And again, if you like Prom Night remake, that's cool. I just, it really irks me when, you know, a film that you love doesn't get the respect that it deserves. And I guess the best way to end this would be a great quote from Danny Aiello, who's talking to Jacob Singer, Tim Robbins. And this is the quote. I just don't want to screw it up. It'll be the last thing I talk about in this review. Eckert saw hell too. He said, the only thing that burns in hell is the part of you that won't let go of life. Your memories, your attachments, they burn them all away. But they're not punishing you, he said. They're freeing your soul. So, if you're frightened of dying, and you're holding on, you'll see devils tearing your life away. But, if you made your peace, then the devils are really angels, freeing you from the earth. And that pretty much sums the movie up. Very well, not cheesy or hokey. Pretty damn perfect. So thanks for watching this review, and take care. Later.